the edge of known space. The transport ship Vanguard Wake shuddered as it exited hyperspace, its hull groaning like a tired beast finally allowed to rest. I was thrown forward in my harness, lights flickering overhead as the ship stabilized. Outside the forward viewport, the stars rearranged themselves into something unfamiliar, thinner, dimmer, as though even light itself hesitated to exist as far from civilization. "Welcome to Caro's Reach," the pilot muttered over the intercom. "End of the map." Caro's Reach wasn't supposed to exist. Not officially. It was a classified outpost buried beyond recognized trade lanes, orbiting a dead planet whose surface was scarred by ancient impacts and frozen oceans. The Galactic Council denied its existence, which meant it was important, dangerous, or both. I unbuckled and rose slowly, my boots clanging against the deck. I was a logistics officer by title, but in truth, I was here because I asked too many questions and survived too many missions where others didn't. The council didn't like people like me, but they needed us at places like this. The hatch opened with a hiss of cold air, and I stepped onto the outpost platform. Caro Station loomed like a skeletal crown wrapped around the planet's orbit. Long spines of metal stretched outward, studded with sensor arrays and weapons that looked older than modern design standards. The station felt watched, as if it had eyes. A reception officer met me, human, tired, eye-shadowed. "You're the new arrival?" he asked. "For now," I replied. He gave a humorless smile. "You won't be forever." That should have been my warning. The outpost that feared the night. Caro's Reach ran on silence and routine. Crews moved with purpose but avoided eye contact. Conversations ended when I entered rooms. Doors closed too quickly. Even the station's AI spoke in clipped, minimal responses, as if words themselves were dangerous. On my first day, I learned the unspoken rule. No one stayed after night cycle. Caro Station orbited a dead world, but it still had a night. When the planet eclipsed a distant star, the station dimmed, and the crews retreated to secured quarters. Some left on scheduled transports. Others transferred out permanently. Why? I asked a maintenance engineer during a rare conversation. He hesitated, then leaned closer. "Because the Queen wakes." I laughed once. No one else did. The alienqueen, the Queen of Caros, was not a myth. She was an undisputed ruler of the planet below, an ancient being whose species predated most known civilizations. Her kind had once ruled entire sectors, but war and entropy reduced them to legends. The council called her a diplomatic anomaly. The crews called her the Night Sovereign. And every cycle, when darkness fell across the station, she would choose. No one knew how she selected her guests. No one knew why some returned changed, and others never returned at all. She doesn't take prisoners, the commander told me during our briefing. She claims. I should have requested reassignment. Instead, I stayed. The night cycle came faster than I expected. The station lights dimmed to crimson standby mode. Bulkhead sealed. Security fields activated. The entire outpost held its breath. I was in my quarters, reviewing supply logs, when the temperature dropped. Not gradually, instantly. Frost crept along the walls, glowing faintly blue. My console went dark. Then my door slid open on its own. She stood there, taller than any human, her form both regal and terrifying. Her skin shimmered like obsidian under starlight, etched with glowing patterns that pulsed slowly like a heartbeat. Her eyes were ancient suns, filled with intelligence that had seen civilizations rise and fall. The alien queen of Karos. You have crossed my threshold, she said, her voice resonating inside my skull rather than my ears. And you did not flee. I didn't know I was supposed to. I answered, surprised at my own calm. Her lips curved, not quite a smile. Truth. She extended a hand, long fingers adorned with crystalline bands. I claim you for this night, she declared. The station vanished. The descent. We stood on the surface of the dead world, beneath a sky split by auroras and distant nebulae. Towers of black stone rose around us, a city carved directly from the planet's crust. It pulsed with energy older than hyperspace travel. This world remembers, she said. It remembers my people, and now it will remember you. Why me? I asked. She studied me in silence, her gaze peeling back layers of thought, memory, and fear. Because you are unbound, she said at last. You kneel to no throne, not even your own. We walked through halls that whispered as we passed. I felt the weight of her presence, not oppressive, but undeniable. She was power-given form, yet there was something else beneath it. Loneliness, vigilance, burden. You fear me, she said. I respect you, I replied. Fear is different. That earned another almost smile. A night beyond time. The night stretched in ways that defied measurement. Time bent, slowed, and folded in on itself. She showed me visions of her people, how they one-shaped stars, how they chose isolation instead of extinction, how she became queen not by bloodline, but by survival. I guard what remains, she said softly, and I test those who trespass. I realized then that the outpost wasn't merely an observation post. It was an offering, and if I fail, I asked, then you will be remembered, she answered, briefly. We spoke of war, of humanity's reckless expansion, of the Council's fear of what they could not control. She challenged my beliefs, dismantled my assumptions, and forced me to confront truths I had buried beneath duty and orders. You are not here by accident, she said near the end of the night. You are variable. The choice. As the false dawn began to glow across the horizon, she stopped walking. You may leave, she said, or you may stay, bound to this place as others have been. And if I leave, I asked, you will carry this night with you, and it will change the path of your people. The weight of that choice settled over me like gravity. I don't belong to empires, I said, yours or mine. Her eyes brightened. Then you understand sovereignty. She stepped closer, her presence warm now instead of cold. This night is concluded, she declared, but our accord is not. Ending, the dawn that followed. I awoke in my quarters as the station lights returned to full brightness. My console hummed back to life. Frost melted from the walls. A message blinked on my screen. Command transfer authorized. You are hereby appointed liaison to Caro's Reach. The commander looked stunned when I reported in. She chose you, he said quietly. No, I replied. She negotiated. The outpost changed after that. The night cycle no longer brought fear, only caution. The queen did not claim another, but her presence was felt in every decision the council made regarding that sector. And sometimes, when the stars dimmed just right, I could feel her watching from the surface below, not as a ruler, but as an equal. Epilogue. They say the universe belongs to those who conquer it. I learned that night that it belongs to those who understand when not to kneel and when to stand beside something far greater than themselves.